Hello? My apologies. So when I was fiddling around with my fucking streamer bot settings, I realized that my it was like getting rid of my microphone instead of like the scene that I wanted to toggle. So I was like, that's weird. So I guess like the last time I toggled it, I forgot to re-add my own goddamn microphone to my settings. So that's my bad. That's my bad. That's my fault. I'm the stupid one here. But anyways, all I said earlier was hello. Hi, good afternoon. I hope you are all having a good day. Hello to Ace Arabian. Hello, Ava. Hello, Blue. Hello, Brain Rot. Hello, Giggle. Hello, Klein. Hello, I'm Gamer. Hello, Miso. Hello, One Arm. Scrolling. Hello, Ryan. Hi, Sid. Hi, Vivid. I know, Vivid, you're lurking today. Have a good lurk. Hi, Young Dragon Ace. Hi to everybody. I hope you're all having a good day. Hi, Mothman. Hello. Hi, guys. Sorry for my instant scuff. That always happens to me for some reason. Let me see. How's everyone's weekend going so far? I hope you're all doing well. Before I pass eternal judgment on all of you, and before all of you pass eternal judgment onto each other, I hope you're all doing well today. Hi, guys. Hello. Zio says I didn't get a hi. Hi, Zio. Hello, my beloved. I'm sorry. Hi. Today's been good. Our graders is fantastic. Hope everyone's day is going really good. And to you as well, Giggle McShitter. I'm looking forward to seeing your confessions today. I know you submitted a couple. See, Twitch says, can you burp on command? No, man. I can barely burp as it is. For some reason, I've never been able to force one out, and I do apologize. Truckin says, Marion is a bleeder. Oh, yeah, you're getting your tattoo today. I hope you're enjoying the tattoo process. I hope you're enjoying the nice burn of a needle, inserting in and out of your skin multiple times. Thousands of times, even. Giggle says, oh, I have 2 on there. They're so good and amazing parts of Giggle lore. Hell yeah. I look forward to reading them. Same thing as last time, then. Truckin says, so yummy. It hurts so good. Congratulations, you absolute masochist. I hope that you're having the time of your life. I hope your dick is not too hard as you get tattooed today, lest you scare off all the hoes. And also, welcome to the church to you as well, Mothman. I hope you are blessed. And speaking of being blessed, it'll be the same thing as last time, my friends. We will be reading out your confessions, and then chat. I have a silly little meter here on my streams. You can either submit the emoji for the damnation, which is a little devil, or forgiveness, which is a praying little angel. And so how we'll be doing this is that we will start a meter, and the meter will pop, depending on if we have damnation or forgiveness. And if you cannot use those emojis for any reason, just say something to effect of, sinner or forgive them, something of that, and whatever pops first on the meter will be what chat decrees on if you are going to heaven and or hell. Oh my, Johnny says 6'7". All right, fair enough. Ace Raven says 8'9". Ooh, counter. He parried your 6'7". What are you gonna do about it? Anyway, so you are well accustomed to my church, my beautiful halls with my nice drapery and my beautiful little floral chains swinging around. But as you continue to walk through my cavernous church, there is a small and dark corner in the background of the church. Yes, today we are stepping back into the confession booth. We did it last month, and we're gonna do it again this month, baby. As another little reminder, all you have to do is let me know whether or not they deserve damnation or forgiveness. You can also type this out if you need. As soon as we get a meter pop, that is what the answer will be. And so, tonight, I open up... Actually, it's noon. It's fucking noon for me today. Today, we are pulling back the curtain of the confession booth. And I am opening up my Google document. Zio says, am I allowed to kill people who say 6'7"? Well, unfortunately, the one that said 6'7" is one of my IRL friends today. But all right, let me open up my document here. My document of sins, as we have. Today they were compiled by Church IT Tech. And Church IT Tech did his best to compile all of them in a faithful way, but he did say that he did add some jokes in there. So some interjections from Church IT Tech today, maybe. Zio says yes or no, May. I'll say no. Let people be stupid. I feel like it's okay to be dumb. Because you guys let me be dumb all the time. It's simple. It's simple. She holds no power here. Do it. No! 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 Young Dragon Ace says, hi, how are you? I'm doing well today, my dear. May you be blessed. And let me set the scene once again. Let me do the same thing as I did last time. I'm going to put you all in judgment mode. Put you all in judgment mode. And actually, let me nudge this down a little bit here. There we are. There we go. We're perfect. We're perfect. All right. Now, as all of us join together in the confession booth, know that I am only the one who hears your sins. But if I don't agree with chat's decree, maybe you're getting an express pass to heaven or hell, a la me. Maybe I don't agree with the congregation on something. The final say will be up to me. But more than anything, I will simply be listening to your confessions and letting chat judge you. So, I will start us off with the first confession. And in this cold, dark, damp booth, in the corner of my humble little church, the first sinner that steps in, the first sinner that has stepped in has decided to remain uncloaked, showing his countenance, his expression to me. And as he kneels down in the booth and he looks upon the face of the Almighty, he begins to utter his confession. Zio says, damp? Yeah, man, the church has so many leaks in its roof, dog, I can't even tell ya. Anyway, all right, Giggle says, so this one time when I was 15, I was riding my bike down a hill. I decided I wanted to go Dutch Bros, right? I pull up my bike, and the fucking cunt that worked there as the order person tells me I can't order on my bike. So I walk up to the window, and the cunt damn, you really fucking hated this person. Cunt in uppercase both times? Damn. Anyway, sorry. Working the window didn't let me order because, she refused you service, and my husband hasn't fucked me in 3 years. So I'm gonna take out my pent-up rage on you. Fuck you. Damn, Jesus. What the hell? Why are you reading the Dutch Bros worker like that? Service workers have a hard enough time, all right? Let me tell you already. You're inching towards hell for me, being mean to a service worker. But anyway, I leave and I swear my vengeance on them. Well, Little Giggle had an Aztec death whistle. What the fuck is an Aztec death whistle? Anyway, in the middle of the night that day, like midnight I'm talking, I pull up on my bike again and hide in some bushes. Scream 1 damage stats. Order women jumped up and screamed, and the car there sped off. Success, but I'm not yet done. I wait another hour and I let off Scream 2. Scream 2 damage stats. Cops call and I made them look insane. That's crazy. Your Dutch Bros is open so late. All of the Dutch Bros in my area close at like 10 p.m. But okay. So, suffice it to say that you decided to get revenge on a poor service worker that didn't want to deal with a teenager on their bike that day. They had no way of knowing whether or not you were going to be a shithead, right? 15-year-old Giggle McShitter. While it is not entirely my decree, it is time to see whether chat thinks you deserve damnation or forgiveness. And I think I know where I stand. To me, this is a case that is cut and dry, shut and closed. In order to make the meter pop, it has to be the same amount of emojis as well. So it'll be 3 devils. 3 little devils. Giggle wants to be sent to hell. Well, in that case, if this guy wants to be sent to hell, maybe we do the opposite. Maybe we send him to heaven. Okay, alright. Chat has decreed that you're going the fuck to hell. Giggles pleading. He says, no, don't you fucking do it. Don't you dare send me to heaven. Sorry, man. Well, alright. Chat has decreed that you are a dirty motherfucker. And for your crimes, I will be pulling down on the lever. And I will be sending you straight to the dark depth pits of hell. The unholy chasm. And in the fire lies your sick and twisted body and your fucked up mind. Enjoy hell and eternal repentance, you piece of shit. Zio says, May, I sent you a video of an Aztec death whistle. Oh, you know what? Okay, this is good supplemental information. Let me see if I can get this audio working for you guys. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Jesus Christ! Okay, yeah, it does sound like a terrible scream. We can't hear. Okay, hold on. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Okay. Restarting it. Yeah, no, that sounds like a human scream. That I understand why they would call the cops. It is an Aztec death whistle. This is the device that Giggle McShitter used to be a silly little prankster. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, I understand what you did now. Still, you were being mean to a service worker. Straight to hell for you. I close the trap door. And I return to my spot in the confession booth. Straight to the furnace with you, my dear. And the next... I lost my train of thought. The next sinner steps into the confession booth. Again uncloaked, but only calling themselves Magic. And Magic gets on her knees, looks upon the window in which I am staring at you from on the other side. And Magic says, Mommy May, I have sinned. You sure have, opening this up by calling me Mommy. All right, I see how it is. Mommy May, I have sinned. When I was 12 years old, I joined the Girl Scouts, right before cookie selling season, you see. There were prizes based on how many boxes you sold, and my goal as a social recluse antisocial nerd was to win one of the top prizes, a Kindle Nook tablet, so I could read Aragon. So over the course of about 3 months after pledging my soul to a troop, I sold over 1,000 boxes of cookies and went on one camping trip. When I got the order confirmation for the Kindle, I just straight quit up the Girl Scouts, and I didn't look back. Here's the thing, my beloved sinner Magic. You still put in the hard work and the effort to gain your prize. And I feel that the effort that you did, that you put into the hours that you spent toiling, asking people, do you want to buy some Girl Scout cookies? I bet you annoyed the shit out of so many bystanders. Maybe they all wished for you to go to hell. But you know what? I respect your hustle. You worked hard to move 1,000 boxes of cookies for this goddamn organization. And it seems that chat agrees. It seems that the lovely congregation that is listening to the confession booth that I had mic'd up, it seems that they more or less agree. So is it a sin that you're working for an MLN? Maybe. But I feel that you've done your hard work. You did your deed. And for that, heaven's pearly gates await you, my dear. Here. I will contribute. I will contribute with my emojis as well to get the meter to pop. Except, where's my emojis? I can't find them. There they are. There they are. I found them. I found them. I found them. Yippee! Magic! You're going to heaven! I let you leave the confession booth without dying instantly today. But know that the next time that you ascend up a staircase, you will go into cardiac arrest. And as you continue to walk up that staircase, surprise, you're in heaven. The pearly gates will lie before you. So maybe I just Death Note style cursed your ass. But you will be going to heaven after the curse, so I think you will be fine. I think you will be fine, all things considered. As the confession booth is cleared, and nothing, no sin, is in the wake of the last sinner, the next sinner can walk in. Second Eater says, when did you become a soothsayer? When I took my nun oath. When I took my nun oath, pretty much. Anyway. Howdy. Hi, One Arm. So the next sinner walks in, not even with a cloak. Straight up, just shows up. He's a guy. He's right here in chat. Great timing, Arm. He shows up in my confession booth, uncloaked. Just straight up wearing jeans and a t-shirt. He has nothing that he fears on this mortal plane anymore, because he knows, whether heaven or hell, he has made the executive decision himself to confess today. Ow, 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 ow. Thank you, love you too. Second Year says, also, did I miss mine? Nope, we are 3 confessions into the stream, my dear. And so, hi Okami, by the way. Arm begins his tale, his confession. And Arm says, once upon a time, I was at a place in the world. It was a cold night on December 18th on insert year here. I woke up at 4 in the morning due to my dog, named Megatron, licking my face. I went down to the tree, early presents, places for me and my cousins. I heard a door open and one of my aunts was bringing in some bags and requested for my help. Me, being a sleepy little Arm, looked into one of the bags and it had a label, for Arm. Me, being the little brain I had, looked into the bag, and lo and behold, it was a Tom Hook amiibo. Tom Hook. Who the fuck is Tom Hook? Hold on. Tom Hook. Oh, Tom Nook. Yeah, I don't think they made an amiibo of this guy. Tom Nook. Okay, understandable. It was probably autocorrect that got you there. Understandable. That autocorrect is not a sin. Anyway, Arm looked into the bag, and lo and behold, it was a Tom Nook amiibo for Animal Crossing game on the Wii U, which wasn't great. Thankfully, my little mind didn't register it was for me, because even though it was labeled for Arm, when I did realize it on December 25th, in insert year here, at like 7 in the morning, I was still thankful, even though I knew it was a week prior. I did get awesome stuff that Christmas, though, and I was very thankful. But I feel bad that I knew my gift a week prior. Thank you for listening to my Christmas story, Lady May, from One Arm Over. To be honest, I feel like what my Christmas time sin is probably worse than you. Every Christmas, I could not keep a secret from myself. If there was a present under the tree, goddamn, I needed to know what it was. And so every Christmas, I would tear holes, little tiny holes in the wrapping paper of my gifts, so that I could take a little sneak peek at what it was, even if it was just the back of the box, all right? And so I would tear little tiny holes to get little looks at what the box was underneath the wrapping paper. And so I was able to suss out a decent amount of my gifts every single year. And on Christmas, my strat was that I would pick up my gifts in a very specific way so that nobody knew that I had been taking little peeks at my gifts from days prior. Eventually, I did get found out, and then my parents stopped putting presents under the tree because they were like, she's just gonna fucking look at what they are, so we have to hide them from her. I feel like what I did is worse. So I feel like I might be with Chad here. In all honesty, you were a little kid, and kids have done worse things. I feel like you deserve to leave the confession booth feeling a lightness on your shoulders. No weight at all, even. Perhaps you're light as a feather. Perhaps your soul is already leaving your body and well on the way to the pearly gates that you do so deserve to see, my good friend One Arm Over. You're going to heaven, baby. Don't worry about a thing. And as I quickly get rid of the corpse in my confession booth, via trap door, that one doesn't go to hell. That one, is like a Sweeney Todd type of deal where it just kind of puts your corpse in the basement. So don't really worry about the way that you died. What matters is that you're going straight to heaven. So don't feel too bad about that. Don't feel too bad about it. As I quickly sweep up any remaining remnants there may be of your corpse, I quickly usher in the next sinner. And the next sinner also just shows up. She rocks up. She loosens the buttons on her vest, and she gives me a quick little sup through the confession booth window. Because it is none other than Zio, the the hit woman VTuber. Who straight up doesn't give a shit. Zio says, what? Gamer says, an innocent died in your confession booth? Well, it was so that they could go to heaven a little bit sooner. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, I think. Anyway, Zio arrives at the confession booth, straight up as herself, and she utters her confession. One time during 4th grade, I farted in class, and it smelled Damn, you're gassing out your 4th grade class? Damn. All right. One time during a 4th grade, I farted in class and it smelled so bad, and after a while, the weather said who it was. Huh? Hold on. What? Somebody asked who it was. So I needed to get the heat off of me. So I pointed at the weird kid in my class and said he did it. And the entire class agreed with me. And the teacher made the kid stand in the corner for a few minutes. And I don't feel bad. That kid was weird. Oh, that's gotta be a form of bullying, to be honest. That's a little fucked up. That kid was probably going through enough. You don't know what that kid did when he went home. Maybe you just spawned an absolute maniac of a man by doing that. Maybe this was the final straw. And if the decision here is damnation or forgiveness, brother, you suck. You just straight up bullied a kid that was already going through enough. So I think, in all honesty, you probably do deserve to go to hell. Let me see. What does everyone say here? M-Gamer says M-Gamer says damnation. Brainrot says damnation. Oh my Johnny says damnation. I think you have more or less secured yourself a one-way ticket to hell, buddy. But we'll see which meetup pops first. Okay. It seems like it's gonna be hell. Let's see. Chat, raise your voices. I need to know. Giggle McShitter says, I'm the weird kid that had a glow up. Damnation! As a former fellow weird kid, I feel bad. I feel very bad for that person. I have been in the same position as that kid before. One time, I sneezed, and I had a little bit of a cold, and my mucus just went splat all over the desk, and everyone turned and pointed and laughed at me. And perhaps it was that experience that turned me into the terrible sinner that I am today. This meter fills very slowly. Oh, it's because the number has to be exact. So, like, if someone put 3 emojis, everyone else has to do 3 emojis. And I can't fix it. That's just the way the meter was coded. I do apologize. But, more or less, it seems like we are all in agreement here. Zio deserves to go to hell. And so, because Zio is a good friend of mine, I allow her to leave my church. I tell her you're a piece of shit through the window, and I allow her to leave the booth, right? She exits my church going, well, fuck that bitch. And then as soon as she leaves my church, a giant piano falls from the heavens and plummets you straight down into the deep bowels of hell. That's right, my friend. You will die the most Looney Tunes cartoon-style death and find yourself right at the seat of Satan. Oh my, Johnny says, OMG, just like in Fortnite. Oh, classic Tom and Jerry. Exactly. You will have a Tom and Jerry death and go straight to hell. Second Eater says, Daffy Duck head ass death. I hope the shame follows you forever, Zio. And since there's no cleanup required in the confession booth, I'll allow the next person to slink right on in. Ooh, our first anonymous! Okay, our first anonymous confession. They arrive in the confession booth, fully cloaked. No indication of who this person is. Their shoulders, however, hang heavy with shame and desperation, and thus they begin their confession. So during lockdown, I just used to grind this one game, and I was kind of fed up of not getting the good shit in it as rewards. So one day, I just bought stuff in the game worth $300 to $400. Oh no! Using my dad's credit card. And I was dumb, so I didn't know that he'd find out. And he found out like 3 hours after I purchased it, but now I knew that he found out because he was contacting the bank and asked them to block the card for now. See, you had no idea where the money was going. Guessing the purchases didn't immediately state they were being made, and I made the payment of about $100 4 times. So now that I knew I had the stuff in game, it was like a few packs, so I had to open them all so that nobody was suspicious of me. Now, I was thinking of how I could get away from it. Sooner or later, he'd know that it was a game purchase, and by the evening, he did find out. So I knew I had to come out with something. Now, going back a few months, my brother had actually made a small purchase in a game without asking our parents a few months ago, and he got scolded a lot for it, and he was not allowed to play games for a month. So, because it would be a believable lie, I blamed it on him. And because it would be more believable and probable if my parents confronted us about it, and I pointed out my younger brother, and my mom and dad kind of just believed it. So did my older brother. And then it just went out that way. Same thing happened with him, and he got scolded, and he wasn't allowed to play games for another 3 or 4 weeks during lockdown. Ooh, that sucks. To this day, nobody ever knew it was me who did it, because looking back, I do feel pretty bad for my brother, because imagine not being able to play any games at all during lockdown when you don't have shit to do. All he did was watch TV in his free time. Damn. That is, honestly, I mostly just feel bad for your little brother. Especially because it seems like the both of you probably were younger and kids. I will let you know. I'll level with you. I did something similar. When I was a kid, I was signed on to my dad's credit card. And I made mobile game purchases in the Love Live app. However, because I only did purchases of 99 cents. I did many, many purchases of 99-cent purchases of Love Gems. That was the Love Live currency. And my dad never found out. Because the bank didn't notify him because they were all purchases under 99 cents. So I'll level with you here. I did something similar. But I also never got caught. Maybe that's a sin of my own. But I got away with it. However, the fact that you blamed your sin on someone else, and they had to take the fall for what you did wrong, that, I feel, is the true sin here. It's not taking your parents' card without permission. Listen, I did that too. I can't fault you for that. You know, the pot cannot call the kettle black. But you blamed it on someone else, so I feel like you get to go to hell. Anonymous, because I do not know who you are, all I can do is write your name in my knockoff death note of sorts. And I'll give you 3 to 4 weeks to live. Just as the same punishment your little brother had to go through. 3 to 4 weeks left to live, buddy, and then you'll go straight down to the unholy chute. And maybe, in hell, there is a legion of little brothers that are waiting to stone you for all eternity. They'll just keep throwing rocks at you over and over again until you get the agony and suffering that you so deserve. Get stoned forever, loser. You get to leave my confession booth for now. But know that punishment is coming and it will be eternal. Mephistopheles says, this is fun. Let's go. I'm glad you're having fun. Vulgar Sabby also said, crucify that man. And maybe the legion of little brothers will crucify you in hell as well. Who knows? I don't know. I've never been to hell. All right. The confession booth is clear. And so we will go to the next one. And our next sin is Geo. Julia says, wait! Did the person give the brother a good Christmas gift? Honestly, we don't know because that person was anonymous. So we'll just have to hope and assume that that person has paid their penance 100 times more. But even then, it still won't save them from the eternal damnation. Anyway, our next sinner here is Geo. And Geo's confession is that my sin is I don't like Sleep Token. I know not everyone loves them, and I'm not about to yuck a yum for a lot of people, but I cannot stand their newer music. It's nowhere near the aggression that I like on the music that I listen to on the daily. Their older material, on the other hand, I can tolerate, but nothing will ever beat the sweet sounds of thrash metal, death metal, melodic death metal, and metalcore for me. And, you know what? I get it. I'll level with you. I understand the way you feel. I did not like Even in Arcadia, which is the newest Sleep Token album. Some of the songs were good, right? But I've talked about this on stream before. I feel like Sleep Token's music has gotten too formulaic. They settle into the same kind of thing every song now. Most of the song will be one genre, and then the last 20% of it will be metal or some kind of breakdown. And it's kind of boring. In terms on if you deserve damnation or forgiveness, to be honest, I don't feel like you've done anything wrong here. You've simply voiced an opinion, and while Sleep Token fans might point their fingers at you and tell you that you are a sinner that deserves nothing but the worst, all you have here is an opinion, and I feel that your opinion is righteous, and chat doth agree. You get to leave the confession booth with a weight lifted from your soul. And you get to live for at least the next Sleep Token album release. And if you don't like Sleep Token's next album, then I guess you'll die of disappointment and you get to go straight to heaven. So feel alright about that. But they did get very comfortable with their sound. I honestly, more or less, I agree with you. It's not that I don't like Sleep Token, but I've gotten a little bored with Sleep Token. And I'd like them to mix it up in a different way, perhaps. Maybe go back to your more aggressive roots. But that's my thought. M Gamer says, the weight is off your soul, but now you've got a monkey's paw on your back. Oh, my Johnny says, real quick, my mom packed away the Lego Durr Burger I built, so can we send her to hell? Are we sending Oh My Johnny's mom to hell for packing away the Lego Durr Burger from Fortnite? You know what? I know your mom. And your mom has baked me some wonderful, wonderful sourdough. I would have a hard time sending a woman who makes such wonderful bread to hell. Because I feel like hell doesn't deserve her bread. I feel heaven only deserves her bread. So you know what? I disagree with chat. I'm sending your mom to heaven. It's a simple mistake that she made. Packing away your Lego Durr Burger. Truckin says, is your mom single? Classic Truckin. He always wants to sleep with someone's mom. Anyway, your mom gets to go to heaven. Final say. As Oh My Johnny suddenly broke into the confession booth, I shoo her back out of my confession booth, and I go, hey, hold on, bitch, it's not your turn. Tax Lord Co says, I've spawned in church. Ooh, Tax Lord, hold on. Tax Lord? Given Tax Lord's name alone, chat. Are we sending the Tax Lord to heaven or hell? To be honest, I think Tax Lord deserves to go to hell. Solely on principle. Tax Lord said, what did I do? Dude, look at your name. You collect taxes. Of course we want to send you to hell. Deepest pits even. I think for the rest of your life, you will have to count Satan's coinage forever and ever down in the depths of hell. So you'll die before the next tax season. Daxlord says, that's my job. Let me pull out the world's smallest violin for you. Oh, we all feel so bad for you. I'm kidding, tax man. Welcome to the church. Tax lord, sorry. Welcome to the church. I think you're fine. Second Eater said, if they're a lord, it means they're British, so I'll say they're fine. Tax the Brits all you want. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. Tax lord, I'll take you off the hot seat for now. I'll move to the next confession. We are at confession 9 out of 25 pages. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. All right, Anonymous walks into the confession booth, and they are too ashamed of their sin to look me in the eye, to look upon the other side of the confession booth, and really confess their wrongs. And Anonymous says, oh dear holy metal mother of Mary, I've sinned to many things, but the worst thing I've sinned to is bug porn. Anonymous, if you're here, you'll have to elaborate. The fuck is bug porn? If we're talking about an anthropomorphic bug, all right? If we're talking about a furry bug. Actually, I don't know what a furry bug is called. What is a bug furry called? Insectoids. Or buggies, or crawlies. I will go with crawlies, because it's similar to furries. If it's like crawly porn, I think it's fine, because it is still, you know, it's still curvaceous. It's still got the vibe of a person. But if it's like, if you are watching, like, 2 cockroaches go at it, dude, that's fucking nasty. That's nasty. I feel I need further context in this sin as well. But we don't have further context. Anonymous simply lowers their head, and they say nothing more. Truckin said... Truckin said, y'all ever seen Ant's Life? Which, to be fair, yeah, I get it. And Gamer says, so like what, Matara Khan? And in that case as well, yeah, like Monster Musume. If we're talking about the Spider Girl in Monster Musume, hold on, y'all ever seen the Spider Girl Monster Musume? Y'all ever seen this sexy ass fucking spider? Okay, hold on, my. Y'all ever see the sexy spider for Monster Musume? Dog, if this is what you're talking about, I think we're fine. If we're talking about the sexy spider for Monster Musume, this one right here, I think we're good. I think you're goated. Like look at this. Look at this beautiful black wedding dress here. I think that's fine. I think if you're talking about like Monster Musume Spider Girl porn, you're good. But if you're looking at actual bugs getting nasty, dog, you're going straight to hell. But because we don't have the further context, all we can do is surmise. All we can do is try to figure out what you mean here. So chat, I'll leave this to you. Does this anonymous sinner deserve damnation or forgiveness? Is this like a 50-50? I can't decide, in all honesty. I think this is up to you, chat. Do you guys think that they deserve heaven or hell? Do you think that they deserve to be forgiven on this stand? Or are we all, like, are we sending them to purgatory? Is this the first purgatory sin? I'm gonna say purgatory. Ooh. Oh my Johnny says I can't decide either. Ooh. Everyone, okay. Fu says forgiveness. Truckit and Fu say forgiveness. Scar says hell. Everyone else says 50-50. Taxlord says let's smite him. Ooh. Okay. Well, you know what? I think I will align with the popular judgment here. I think, Anonymous, you deserve to go to purgatory. But it is a purgatory that there are no bugs in. It's a purgatory that you can no longer get your rocks off in. In fact, the purgatory that I'm sending you to is the purgatory of erectile dysfunction. Never again will you be able to jork it in this cold and dusty place. All you can do is think about the erection that once was. And perhaps that is a fate worse than hell. Say goodbye to your peenar. I agree, Tax Lord. Say goodbye to your penis, fucking idiot. You have been sentenced to abstinence. I agree with Second Eater. Put on the wiener cage. Whoa, the wiener cage? That's crazy. M Gamer says Ninja Sex Party has probably put out a song about this situation. Maybe. You know what? Good call. Who knows? Okay. Ooh, the next sinner is Second Eater, and Second Eater is in the chat today. So Second Eater walks into the confession booth, and Second Eater straight up just says, actually, Confession Eater, you're here. Go on, say hi. Go on, say hi. Second Eater says, yippee! Okay, so Second Eater walks into my booth and goes, yippee! And Second Eater begins their sin. I'm part of a TTRPG group that plays vampires and werewolves in a modern-day Memphis, Tennessee. Really? Okay, anyway. My character is a hyper-religious werewolf. Amen, brother, amen. On one session, we got into a combat scenario with a hybrid wolf-vampire abomination, and my character had the bright idea of striking a low blow on the enemy by shoving his knife into his gooch. Ooh, not his gooch. Hello, Hollow Tempest. Hello, Hollow Raiders. We are currently reading a confession. I am a nun, and today we are doing a confession booth stream, but I am also an aspiring metal vocalist. I typically do a lot of video games here, but we also do some special content every now and then. So, Raiders, I do urge you to sit in the congregation, to get cozy up in this church, and together we will read these sins. Together we will decide on whether or not this chatter gets to go to heaven or hell. It's a quick deal here. You can either use the emotes for the little devil or the little angel, or you can simply chat heaven or hell if you do not have access to these emojis. So feel free. And also, thank you very much for raiding out to me, Hollow Tempest. That was very kind of you, and I hope that you enjoy being in my church today. How was your stream, my dear? And also, thank you for following. Welcome in. Hello, Raiders. How are you? Hello. Sorry, my hand is glowing with the touch of God. This is the hand that I send you to heaven with. Wait, hold on. That sounded kind of weird. This is the hand that I will bless you with. Not send you to heaven with. That sounds a little dirty. That sounds a little wrong. I'm gonna go back to praying for everybody. Scarlet said, I need that hand. Second Eater said, say less. Tax Lord says, very glowing hand. Don't touch my tax money with it. Ooh. Good point. Anyway, what were you streaming, Hollow Tempest? I hope you had a lot of fun today. I will continue reading with this confession as we continue. Actually, hold on. Let me drink my water real quick. I'm thirsty. Okay. I'll continue with the start of this paragraph. On one session, we got into combat scenario with a hybrid wolf-vampire abomination, and my character had the bright idea of striking a low blow on the enemy by shoving his knife into his gooch. The DM responded to this by having the abomination bite off my entire crotch. Although my OC survived the encounter, we had to roll a d20 for his new penis size, since werewolves can heal and regenerate. And I rolled a 2. Oh, ye maiden of faith, was my character's genital fate truly deserved? I would say, chat, let me ask your opinion on this. If somebody stabbed you in your fucking coochie, and if you don't have a coochie, if you only have, a taint, a ball sack in which you could be stabbed behind, how do you think you would feel? How do you think you would feel if somebody stabbed you right after your balls, or if somebody stabbed you in your gooch? I think, honestly, that is a crime that can't easily be rectified. I think you deserved to get your crotch ripped off in your D&D campaign. And in all honesty, I think that has balanced out. I think that has balanced out your punishment. Any punishment that I can give, in all honesty. I think, maybe, I'll send you to heaven. Because you've already paid the price of your crime. You've already had to deal with a micro penis in response to what has happened to you. So even though the punishment that you received is well deserved, that does not mean that we must punish you a second time. Buddy, I think I'm sending you to heaven. And your only punishment is is that you have to live out the rest of your days with a micro penis. With the 2 that you rolled. With the 2 that you rolled. You just have to deal with having a penis for the small penis for the rest of your life. But that means when you get to heaven, perhaps a bigger penis will be in your future. I choose forgiveness. Of course, of course. A Second Eater says, I ascend to the shiny gates with my 2-inch speed. Oh my, Johnny says, use it or lose it. You gotta figure out how to use your 2-inch microcock, dude. Sorry. Okay. Your fate has been decided. You can leave the confession booth and live out the rest of your days. Maybe your character will find something interesting to do with their microcock for the rest of their days. We'll see. And as the confession booth is once more cleaned out, we will welcome in Giggle, who's come back in for a second time. He's risen from the depths of hell with a pair of glasses on his face, and he says, actually, I have another. Buddy, if you want to get out of hell, you're gonna have to send me $5. I'm kidding. If you want me to change my judgment, buddy, you're gonna have to send me $5. I'm kidding. Welcome to the church, Tax Lord Co. May you be blessed, even though your Tax Lord sins have put you on my I'm fucking watching you list. Giggle McShitter says, alright, so this is from when I was edgy as hell, be warned. Okay, got it. So, I see here you said 15 to 17 years old. Okay. Understandable. Soundtracker says, okay, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention. Hell yeah, welcome to my church, buddy. I hope you're having fun, my friend. You may watch it all you want, evil kitty. I like all your evil kitty emotes. My cat is sleeping right now. So just know, I am kin with your kitty emotes. Anyway, Giggle has come back from the depths of hell and said, actually, I have something else to confess. Giggle says, also before we start, yes, I'm waiting. I'll wait. And I'll take a sip of water because this nun is pretty thirsty, actually. Tax Lord says, my cat, as well, is evil. He's Tax Lord Jr. for a reason. That's so funny. Imagining a cat named Tax Lord is hilarious to me, and even if your cat isn't actually named Tax Lord, that's so funny to me, and I really like it. Okay. Kitties! Giggle says, yes, majority, over 95% of the members in that community were creeps. Had to clarify. All right, we can continue. Okay, all right, okay. Then, Giggle, we will commence with reading your confession. Giggle says, my second confession. I single-handedly wrecked 2 entire communities on Instagram. These communities were called Girls Frontline and Azure Lane. Okay, gotcha games. All right, cool. All right, yeah, I get down with it. I get down with the gotcha games. This occurred in between the times I was 15 to 17 years old. It all started with me downloading a mobile game where they take weapons and make them into anime girls. Awesome. I want to join the community on Instagram, so I do. While I was growing accustomed to this community, I came up with a name. If anyone here was a part of the GFL or AL Insta community, you might have heard of me. Neo Commander _Neo or Operator _Neo. Like you're the Matrix. Like you're the one from the Matrix. All right, got it. Hey, where's that Pete? Welcome in. I went by this name for a very long time. Well, what I would do in this community would be a detective. If there was drama, I would sniff it out, find out what truly happened and who was in the wrong, and expose them. I was very successful at this and grew accustomed to the more popular accounts. I kept going, but I went deeper. I made fake accounts of characters purely to start drama and purely to expose the creeps of the community. One day, young Giggle liked someone in the community and confessed to them. They were a 34-year-old man. Oh my god! Okay, so... okay, you've been through enough, buddy. Okay, wow, alright. Well, young Giggle /Neo came out to find that almost every single person in this community was a guy that preyed on younger people within the community. Majority of these people in the Instagram community were, in fact, groomers. I used my fake accounts and the trust everyone had in my name and my account to tear it all down. I accused people with fake evidence I made. I lied to others about what others would say. I told the counts that their partners would cheat on them, which they all did. And I tore the community to shreds. If there's any people still posting in that community, they came after the great GFL Insta Civil War, along with all the great AL Civil War. My fake accounts are all still up, but I forgot their logins. My Neo account is deleted and gone. No one can find it. He's gone scorched earth. I feel no remorse for it. Of all the people I interacted with in that community were vile, disgusting people, I'm glad I tore it down. Now new, more welcoming communities can be made in their places. Damn. I will say, okay, so basically, TLDR, you got catfished, and you decided, I can't stand for this. Nobody else must suffer the way I did. I sought love and companionship, and what I gained was only a farce. I think, in all honesty, if you deserve damnation or forgiveness, it's a little dicey because you did use false words. You did use slander in order to get to your final goal. But let's think in the mind of a supervillain. Let's say Giggle McShitter is the fucking Jonkler, the Joker, even. Don't you have to crack a few eggs to make a cake? Don't you have to kill a few to make a better world? If we are talking in the mind of a supervillain, which Giggle McShitter was very much acting as, I think he has not done wrong. I think I agree with chat here. I think he does deserve heaven. But because his prior sin set him down to hell, I think the best I can do is give you a second life. I think with my holy hand, I will pluck you from the depths of hell, and I will put you back on this hellscape that we call Earth. Nay, you will not go to purgatory. Nay, you will not go to hell, nor will you go to heaven. I have given you a second life, in which you can do with it as you please. And maybe, in further confession streams, you'll find a different fate. Because I'm sure with the life that you lived, you will have more sins to confess. And so, I touch you with my blessed hand, and you get to live once more. Congratulations, buddy. That's a new one. That's a new one. you get a different fate than everyone else thus far. Giggle McShitter says, also, I have the login and username to one of the Instagram accounts. I can share it with y'all if you want. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. You can share it in the Discord if you'd like. Why not? Why not? give us the supplemental lore. Speaking of which, if you are not in the Discord and you like hanging out here, do feel free to maybe join the Discord. Anyway, let me continue on with our confessions here. You get to leave as a renewed man, as another human male, even, and you get to leave without any weight on your shoulders. You have been born again. Warsaw P says, literally Spawn getting back from hell. Soundtracker says, been to a lot of streams, but saving souls is a first for me. Welcome in, my friend. I hope you are enjoying your time, dear. Okay. All right. The next sinner here. Oh, and also welcome to the church, Soundtracker. Thank you for being here. Yippee! Thank you. The next sinner that we have is Sire. If you remember from last time, Sire confessed a sin that sent him to heaven. But then he confessed a sin that shot him down to hell. So this is Sire from hell, hoping that they will maybe get redemption. And Sire says, I'm hoping that this confession can redeem me from my short rise to heaven and sudden plummet to hell. This is not only a confession, but indeed a true story. I confess that I am very sorry for sharing something that would damn me to hell. The conditions are very unfavorable here. The food is spicy and the toilet paper is horrible. Whenever you walk past someone here, they look you straight in the eyes and tell you to go fuck yourself, and you've never even met them. So it's very hurtful. It also turns out that you can't sleep here because there are little gremlins in the corner of every room that smack you in the face the second you doze off. And if you kill them, it is a criminal offense that will get you sent to deeper hell. I don't want to go there. Please help. So basically, you're telling me that hell is a bad place, right? Got it. We knew that, idiot. Kidding, I'm not calling you an idiot. So you're basically just saying, baby, take me back. You're basically just saying, I don't deserve the hand that I was dealt. And in all honesty, I think you do. I think you do deserve the hand that you were dealt. If it comes to damnation or forgiveness, because you've tried to climb your way out of the depths without giving me a clear reason for your redemption, I'm sending you to super hell, actually. You're going straight to super hell. I disagree with chat. You are getting sent to the next layer down, from the first layer to the second. Buddy, you remember how Castiel and Supernatural died? You're going there. You're going to super hell. You will never again feel love or forgiveness or anything of the sort. If you really want to find your way to the pearly gates, you'll have to bribe me. $5 and maybe I'll consider it. $5 and maybe I'll consider a different fate for you, brother. You're going to super hell. I agree with chat. Super hell. Super hell indeed. The next one. The next confession here is from Julius, who is Julius the Tiger VTuber. And Julius says, I did an unholy edit about the duck song. And this is the first one that Church IT Tech commented on. He said, Warsop Pete says, oh god, Supernatural, you're showing your age, May. Hey. We don't talk about a nun's age in the church. We do not talk about how old a nun may or may not be. Warsop Pete, buddy, I'm watching you now. If you have a confession, I might be more inclined to send you to hell now, buddy. Hey, you better watch your back. If anything, Julius, I think your sin here is that you're a little too millennial. I agree with Oh My Johnny. If anything, your sin is that you're a little too millennial. And in all honesty, in this life, you have to be cringe so that you can be free. And I think that being cringe is not a crime. So chat does not have a verdict for you, but I do. You're going to heaven, buddy. You did not do anything wrong. You were just a little cringe, and that's okay. Amen. Now get the fuck out of my booth. Daxlord says, Supernatural? It was a show that ran on the CW for like 12 years. Not 12 years, probably more like 8 or something, but a very long time, and it ended in a very unceremonious fashion. Everybody hated it, nobody liked it. That's all you really need to know. Warsop P says, I missed the deadline. That's okay, there's always next time, my dear. Supernatural, it was 15 years, 15 seasons. Oh shit, I was right? Oh shit, that's crazy. 15 seasons is way too long for any show. I think Supernatural's sin was that it didn't end at like season 5 when they did Swan Song. But anyway, I'm showing my Tumblrina roots here. The next confession comes from Ace Arabian Assassin, and we are on confession 14 out of page 25. Ace Arabian Assassin said, Forgive me, Mother Superior, for I have sinned. On one of my assassination missions, I was forced to square up against the Holy Pope for unauthorized use of the Holy Relic of Eden. The Pope's name was Rodrigo Borgia. Okay, so I think this is the one that Church IT Tech told me was a Assassin's Creed sin. I don't fucking know anything about Assassin's Creed. I have never played an Assassin's Creed game. So, any chatters who have played Assassin's Creed, you'll have to tell me whether or not this person deserves damnation or forgiveness. Because straight up, I don't know. I got no idea. Oh my Johnny says, Borgia deserved it. Heaven it is. Oh my Johnny is the only person who had a reaction here, so I think that this one might be on Oh my Johnny. And Oh my Johnny says that you deserve to see the pearly gates. And as I have not experienced Assassin's Creed myself, I'll leave it to them. Heaven it is, baby. You get to leave the confession booth, and you get to play Assassin's Creed again. But the next time that you play Assassin's Creed, you will die. But you will go to heaven. So maybe consider not opening up Assassin's Creed. Ace Arabian Assassin is perfectly fine with that. So you know what? Good for you, buddy. He's dabbing it up over there. So congratulations. You get to leave, my friend. Okay. The next confession comes from another anonymous. And instantly it says, I've jorked it. So I feel like I know how this one goes. The next sinner that walks into the confession booth is once more cloaked and shrouded in mystery. There is no way to tell who this sinner is. Only we know that they feel such shame that they must come to my church and tell us what is weighing on them. Anonymous says, I've jorked it to fictional cookies. Yes, cookies. And Church IT Tech also included bombastic side-eye. It depends on the cookie, alright? Anonymous, I don't know if you're here. But, chat, if you've played the cookie game, and you can send me a cookie that's sexy enough, maybe I'll forgive you. For now, though, I don't know the sexiest cookies. Even, okay, hold on. Sexiest cookie in cookie game tier list. I'll Google it. Okay. So, there's a couple here. There's, like, this one. I think that's fine. I don't know. This art style doesn't say sex to me, you know? I feel like if you served up this art style to me on a silver platter, I would have a negative boner. I don't think there's anything particularly sexy about these cookies. Let me pull up this image here. May, you gotta look up the fan art. I mean, but that's not, like, that's cheating a little bit, right? Okay, this one, somebody had listed all of the sexy cookies here. This art style does not give me a boner. Brother. You gotta give me some, like, you gotta give me something better, like some Monster Musume type shit, you know? You gotta give me a little bit more to work with. My rocks can't get hard to this. So, in all honesty, if you deserve damnation or forgiveness, chat, what do you think? Because in my opinion, I think that you've committed a grave sin of not being spicy enough. Brother, you need to gain some taste. Go and listen, go pull up like N hentai or something and get you educated on some real shit, alright? Listen, it's an old one, tried and true. Go rewatch some Bible Black or something, you know? I think you've committed a sin of not having good enough taste, and therefore Chad and I will be sending you to hell. But maybe in hell, you'll find the porn corner. Maybe in hell, you'll be able to peruse the grand shelves of all the sins in the world, and you'll find some peak doshinji there. And hopefully in hell, you can find some enlightenment and even some better taste. Go look up some N hentai later, my friend. And after you have a good jork, you'll go straight to hell. And I hope that you only find better taste. All right. Next confession. Oh my, Johnny says, Bible Black, what year is it? Yeah, I said it was old, but I said it was tried and true. Tax Lord says, not me who's trying to find a way to get out of the church. Listen, buddy, you already stepped in. You can't leave now. I don't know what to tell you. Warsaw Pieces, go watch Boku no Pico. If that person, sincerely, has not seen anything besides fictional cookie porn, maybe they do need to watch Boku no Pico. Maybe their soul needs to be sullied in order so that they can discover their tastes. Mephistopheles says Bible Black is nostalgia at this point. Yeah, but it's taste. Yeah, but it's taste. Anyway, are we gonna judge me for my tastes? No, I'm literally a nun because I think that nuns are hot. I'm gonna go to the next confession. The next one is also anonymous. The next confession simply states, I'm not sure if this is a terrible sin, but... Oh, somebody said bye. Soundtracker! Have a good day, Soundtracker. I hope you have a good day. And also nice meeting you for the first time. Bye-bye! I stream 4 nights a week. See you later. Okay. Anonymous says, I'm not sure if this is a terrible sin, but I like anthropomorphic furry game/anime girls. Examples would be Crystal Fox from CR Fox and Polt from Monster Musume. This bad? Church IT Tech says, real as hell, big dog. All right, well, I don't know Crystal Fox from this. So let me look up a picture real quick. Okay. All right. Okay. Chat. Thoughts? I'll be honest. This is appealing. I don't blame you for this. In all honesty, I simply think that you have different tastes than what others might deem normal. In all honesty, chat, if we decide on whether you're going to heaven or hell, if you deserve damnation or forgiveness, I think you've chosen some fine choices here. At least you have given me some taste to mull over on my tongue. If anything, you could be a little more, if anything, you could be a little more spicy. So, I'm here with Warsaw Pete. Warsaw Pete says coward. Weak confession. I wouldn't hide my name. I think that if anything, buddy, you can broaden your tastes even more. Show us even sexier foxes next time. Show us the sluttiest furry girls that you could possibly think of. And maybe we'll change our minds, but for now, my darling, you are going to heaven. So smile as you gaze upon your beautiful furry game anime girls. And know that, buddy, you just got taste. And that will be fine. Warsaw P says Crystal can have my gallons. What the? Okay. Warsaw P also says, although lusty Argonian maid supremacy. Got it. Okay. For sure. So, chat says go to heaven, but also give us some sexier girls next time. So leave my confession booth with no weight on your shoulders, but a bit of horny homework. Bring us back some sexier girls next time. Okay. And the next one is Drac! Drac, I do not think is in the chat today, but Drac, hopefully you are able to watch this later and know that we are reading your confession. Drac says, forgive me, May, for I have sinned, and I do hope this gets a chuckle. Last year, I slept with a coworker's mother for nearly a month. Ooh! Now we're getting into something juicy! Now we're getting into some sauce! I had no prior knowledge that the woman I was sleeping with was her mother, and I didn't find out until the mother came in and saw my coworker, and I was serving drinks to customers. I still have a scar where the coworker broke a bottle over my shoulder. Now, every time my coworker gets upset, I jokingly act like a father figure, which normally ends with me getting gently punched in the stomach or chest. Okay. Overall, I'm with Truckin' here. Truckin' said, we fuck moms here. Mephistopheles says, a real motherfucker. We like MILFs here in this church. And in all honesty, I think the crime that you've committed here is simply having taste. A MILF hunter I see? Absolutely, Tax Lord Co. We are a church that is filled with motherfuckers and fuckers of mothers. And therefore, I think I am aligned with chat here. I think that you see the glory that is the MILF. I think that you have tasted pure holiness. And if anything, the sin is that you let the mother slip through your fingers. Brother, you gotta go get your MILF back. Gods be damned of what your coworker says or thinks. Go get your MILF back. Go and once more taste the forbidden fruit. because it will be ever the sweeter the more aged your apple is. Perhaps you'll make a beautiful cider with that MILF someday. You're going to heaven, buddy. And may the MILFs surround you forevermore. Heaven by a landslide. Agreed, brain rot. Anyway, so you get to leave, knowing that your task is simply to go get that MILF back. And maybe sleep with some more moms. Go to MILF heaven, brother. Truckin says mom hole tastes the holiest. Crazy to just say mom hole? That is nuts. Saying only mom hole is crazy, but I understand where you're coming from, so it's fine. Warsaw P says, alright, who's gonna menage a trois May's mom and stepdad? Truckin'? Probably. I'm going to have to hide anything with my parents' address with it when he comes to Vegas. Okay. So, Drac gets to leave the confession booth with the task only to go get his MILF back, and the confession booth once more remains empty. We are going to be on confession 19 out of 25. And the next confession that we have is from Nunu. Nunu says, bless me, mother, for I have sinned. It has been a 420 days since my last confession. Oh, we're doing it real Catholic style here. All right, 5 Hail Marys. I have done wrong to my dogs, as I did not share the ham that I made yesterday with them. I told them it had garlic when, in fact, it did not have garlic. I am a liar, and I beg for forgiveness. Ooh. Lying to puppies is quite tough. Lying to puppies is, I think, a sin. Miso has been the first to condemn them, to condemn this person, to tell you that you deserve nothing but the sickening, hot flames of hell licking at your fingertips, the fingertips that did not share with those puppies. And chat has thusly and righteously decreed that Nunu, you do indeed go to hell. You will go to a hell where, as you sink down to the depths, you will find a horde of puppies looking at you, glancing at you with love and passion in their eyes. And you will have ham, endless ham, more than enough to share. But you will shove it in your mouth. You will shove it down your sickening gullet. And you will grow fat on this ham. You will grow fat and gluttonous on this ham, as the only sin you have truly committed is gluttony, as you will never be able to share ham with the puppies that will stare at you with such love and desperation in their eyes for the rest of eternity, and you will have to deal with your fattening gut and your endless gluttony. For all time, straight to hell. Despicable. Worst sin so far. Utter monster. And you deserve the punishment that you will get for all of eternity. So the next time that you have food that you won't share with your dogs, maybe consider sharing it. Because maybe one of the times that you don't share with your dogs, that's the day that you'll go to hell. Amen. Amen. Chad agrees. Amen, brother. Okay. Nunu leaves, perhaps with a newfound purpose of sharing with the puppies. And the confession booth is once more free for the next sinner to walk in. And the next sinner is here in chat. Brain Rot. It is your time. Brain Rot steps into the booth, not wearing a cloak, simply coming as he is. Amen, chat. Amen. I agree. Amen. Thank you, my dears. Brain Rot says, hi! And Brain Rot simply says, ooh, Brain Rot's got a story! Okay, hell yeah. Brain Rot says, when I was in middle school, I was permanently kicked off of the school bus and almost arrested. On my way home one day, one of my friends gave me an unopened soda can and dared me to throw it out of the open bus window. Me, being a stupid middle schooler, did it without hesitation. The can ended up hitting some dude's car and utterly exploded, and he was fucking pissed. There was no visible damage to the car, but he proceeded to cut the bus off and force it to pull over. So the whole bus was stuck there until the school district police showed up. Honestly, common day in Las Vegas. The dude wanted to press charges, so the police contacted the school. The guy didn't know who threw the can, just that it came from the back of the bus. So the next day, everyone who was sat in the back was pulled into the office and talked to. Someone snitched on me, but the school managed to pursue to convince the guy not to pursue charges. I was permanently banned from riding school buses from the district and was suspended for a week. My parents managed to get the ban down to a year. God. So basically, your sin was that you were a little jerk. Basically, your sin is that you were a little jerk and your little jerk friends convinced you to throw a can of soda at a car. In all honesty, if it comes down to if you deserve damnation or forgiveness, I think, honestly, the worst thing here is that a grown man couldn't fucking handle a can of soda exploding on his car. Because what's the worst thing that's gonna fucking happen to his car? Oh no, I have to take it to a car wash. Grow a fucking sack. In all honesty, I am on the side of you deserve amnesty here. I think you deserve forgiveness. But I still have to get what chat thinks first. Taxlord is thinking, and Gamer says hell. Warsaw Pete says, nah, he was a thoughtless little dumbass, which is forgivable. Ryan Stamper says peer pressure. Taxlord says, it's not a Mercedes, so I say second chance. Then, so Johnny Slicks also says, mild damnation. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm with Chad on this one. You have a life to live, brain rot. So long as you stop throwing soda cans at cars, I think you'll be fine. So maybe it is not our day to tell you whether or not you deserve to go to heaven or hell. Maybe you have a whole life ahead of you to continue sinning or to continue walking in the path of righteousness. And so today, brain rot, I do not give you a decree on if you are going to heaven or hell. I will simply tell you to live a life that is just. Unless you want to go to hell, in which case, live a life that's sick as hell. Maybe do a kickflip off the Grand Canyon or something. You have a life to live, buddy. Live it. Next time, if you confess something else, we'll decide if you deserve to go to heaven or hell. Live a little bit more. Rorschach P says, I mean, his name is literally brain rot, ergo, brain rot behavior. Fair enough. Brain rot will live out his days breakdancing, in which case, sick. Go join the Jabberwockies, man. They're performing at the MGM Grand, I think. Okay, very Las Vegas joke there, sorry. Brain rot gets to leave the confession booth, and perhaps he will join the Jabberwockies in their dance show at the MGM Grand. But we will not know until until he comes back to confess his sin once more. And until that day, brain rot gets to live, choosing his own path. And the next sinner can walk into the booth, cloaked once more in shadows, entirely anonymous. And Anonymous says, I lived with a few lazy fuckers a while back. If my roommates would ever forget to change the toilet paper roll, I would always be the one to change it. Eventually, I got fed up and I started wiping my ass with the inside of the shower curtain every now and then, whenever it was empty. Nobody seemed to notice, but the curtain did get cleaned from time to time. Nobody ever confronted anybody else about it either. We all just quietly accepted that somebody had been wiping their ass with the shower curtain. That's it? That's it? That's it? That's all? So everybody was just showering with poopy curtain? Everybody in your house, I don't know how many roommates that you had, but everyone in this house was just like, all right, I guess somebody is just wiping their poopy ass on the curtain, and we're just gonna live with this now. Did you guys wash it? There needs to be details here. Did you guys wash it? Were you washing it religiously? Or was everyone just showering with poopy ass curtain? Currently, chat says that you deserve damnation. And I am of the mind that I agree. Brother, I understand that you were doing it in your own sickening retribution. But, dog, I'm gonna call the fucking health inspectors on your ass. We need to shut down your bathroom so that nobody else can walk in there. What if you have guests that come over? Did you make a point to wash your shower curtain? We don't know. Why are you cross-tossing at me? Are you cross-tossing at me so that I can cross-toss it at that highs? That's crazy. Miso says biohazard warfare, and in all honesty, I agree. That is its own kind of biohazard warfare. Anonymous, I'm sending you to hell. Warsaw Pete says this level of pettiness is just out of this world. I'm guessing it was all men because there ain't no way I'm gonna believe women did live like that. And I kind of agree. I don't think that this was something any woman I know would do. But who knows? Every human being is a different experience. So let's see. What is a creative circle of hell that I can send you to? Anonymous, for your sins of wiping your ass on a communal shower curtain, your poopy butt, I sentence you to a fate in which you are eternally showering. But there is grime, and you'll always be stepping in the little skid marks in your toilet. Not your toilet, your shower, sorry. You'll always be, and then whenever you try to get out of the shower, you'll put your thumb right on a glob of dookie. And that is your punishment. Straight to shower hell, where you will always be touching dookie forever with your feet in your hands. Warsaw P says bro should have to wipe his ass with his hands. That too. If you ever need to shower to poop, you have to try to poop entirely wet, and then you also won't be able to wash your hands off. You have permanent poopy on your hands. Congratulations. And Gamer says, well, I could think of one woman who would do that. I mean, she already shat on Johnny Depp's bed. Oh, God. Crazy. Amber Heard reference? Nuts. Anyway. Truckin says, Aisha coloring is done. Getting ready to start on Rose. Hell yeah! I hope your tattoo is going wonderfully, Truckin. I hope you're enjoying your time as well. And I hope you can also get some rest whenever I finish up the stream today. Maybe pop a little nap into your tattoo session. But anyway, Anonymous, you're getting sent straight to poopy hell forever. And the next confession is from Truckin' and Gaming. And Truckin' and Gaming, who is here today, currently getting a needle blasted into his leg, says, I have fucked 3 strippers so far in my life. 2 of them in the back room. And I used to date the other, and get it regularly. I don't really recommend, though, because they're crazy. So, you were fucking them in the back room. I assume that's semi-public. Is exhibitionism a kink for you? Voyeurism, exhibitionism, something to that effect. I typically don't believe in involving non-consensual parties in your sexual relations. But it is a back room. There could have been no one else there. I think you are the only person that can pass judgment on yourself. If you regret fucking these, what I assume are lovely women in these spaces, maybe that is something that you have to deal with on yourself. And if chat... Oh, that's the wrong one. Oops. I clicked the wrong toggle. Well, now you get another introduction to me. Hi, guys. My name's May. I'm an aspiring metal vocalist. Oops. Sorry. You'll just have to think about the things that I like and dislike real quick. Truckin' says, I don't regret fucking them, just dating them. Ooh. That is kind of a shitty thing to say, though. Ooh. Okay. I think we don't have enough details here. I think you have to go to purgatory, but you'll be going to the same erectile dysfunction purgatory that the other guy was. The guy that bug fucks. The guy that likes bug porn. Erectile dysfunction purgatory for you for all of eternity. Never again will you be able to fuck anyone. Simply, you will be fuckless and you will experience nothing at all. Amen. Truckin says, you think I need to be hard to get off, you fool. Then I'll send you to a purgatory in which you are perpetually dry. And you will no longer gain any pleasure on your body. Any touch or sensation that is meant to be felt with your bodily functions. Brother, straight nothing. Straight nothing. You will be a feelingless husk of a man for all of eternity in this purgatory. Amen. Truckin says, I've got an imagination. Well, the dude, then I'm sending you to the purgatory of fucking nothing. You're not even you anymore. You're nothing. You're less than nothing. You are a speck that can think not, and feel not, and want not. Because that's what you deserve, you horny fuck. Anyway. So Truckin can leave, knowing that he has a life to live it up. But as soon as he dies, he goes to the nothing. He goes to the void. Truckin says, how's your mom doing? What the hell does my mom have to do with this? She's good. Thank you for asking. Okay. We have, I think, 2 left. We have 2 left. So we have 2 confessions left. The next confession. Oh, Warsaw Pete says, make him always think of his precious dog anytime he thinks Gooner thoughts. Ooh, that's true. We're gonna Akira style your ass every time you get a little bit horny. You'll have a Akira dong vision where your dog, Kara, just pops into your brain and instantly kills your boner every single time. You won't ever be able to goon again when your precious daughter is on your mind. Anyway, Truckin can leave the booth, and Ray G6 can walk into the booth. I do not believe that Ray is here today, but maybe Ray will find this confession later. And Ray says, well, I don't know what to say, but I hope we will always be friends. And I hope May will always be enthusiastic about something. That's all I want to say. Sorry if I confused you. I don't even care what chat says. Heaven, you're the best person here, Ray. You are going to super heaven, where you can have anything that you want. You can live knowing that you are the best person here. You can live knowing that you have nothing but the creme de la creme ahead of you, Ray. Because you thought not to confess a sin. You thought only to wish me well. And for that, straight to heaven. Warsaw P says, paid chatter. Not true. Brain Rot recently tipped me, and I still served him judgment. Truckin also has bribed me many times, and I still sent him to a purgatory where he thinks of nothing but his daughter every time he wants to raise a stiffy, you know? Miso says, may Ray's pillows always be nice and cold and his toes unstubbable. Toes of iron. May nothing bad ever befall you. M Gamer says, that's why you're proud on Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, that's a punishment of my own volition. Anyway, Ray, dude, you don't even have to live anymore if you don't want to. Just go straight to super heaven. I'll just like take out the back door of the confession booth and you can walk straight there. Have fun, buddy. Super heaven for you forever. You're the best person here. And the next confession that I have here is another anonymous. And anonymous says, I added sriracha to mayo to rice, and it was amazing. And Church IT Tech said, Chef. Truckin says, tip to all. Give enough money to streamers and they will do anything. That's true. That is true. I have been bribed. Well, my Johnny says Asian American realness. And in all honesty, yeah, man, you're chefing it up. And I feel like if we were to give you damnation or forgiveness, it doesn't matter. Because you've already chefed yourself up your own paradise. And brother, that's the best thing that you can do on this mortal coil. Perhaps you will go to a heaven in which you can cook and chef it up forever. And Brain Rot and Miso say you get to go to heaven. So, brother, hey, keep on chefing it up. Oh, my Johnny says, do roasted seaweed and spam. Do. Ooh, that sounds fire. God damn, I'm hungry. God damn, I'm hungry. But with that, with little Chef Cat, that is the last of our confessions. We're done, my brothers. That's it. That is all of our confessions. And I feel like it was a pretty mixed bag this time. I feel like last time it was pretty cut and dry on whether or not we were sending people to heaven or to hell. This time, honestly, there was quite a few where we couldn't really reach a verdict. So, chat, I'll open it up to you. Do you have any sins on your mind that you would like to confess now? And if you don't, then, as MGamer says, I will simply have to confess one of my sins. And I've been thinking about this all fucking week. I have not thought about any sins. So I'm going to put Church IT Tech on the spot here. Church IT Tech, do you have any sins? Or anything embarrassing that I have done? Not you, me. That you can tell chat about. Because I was thinking all week about something that I can confess, and I could not think of fucking anything. So Church IT Tech, do you have something that I can confess? He's thinking. I've been thinking about this genuinely all week, and I could not think of anything. Oh, my Johnny says, I spend 6 to 8 hours of my workday bullshitting around on my phone because I'm forced to be 100% in office. Yup. Yup. Me too. If anything, my most common sin is that I don't do my job as much as I should be doing it. But that, I feel, is a normal corporate America sin. Were you able to think of something, Church IT Tech? Dude, he can't think of something either. It's because I'm such a good nun. Dude, I'm such a good nun that there's not... So, welcome to the church, Sperm Shot. You missed the confessions, but it's good to see you, Sperm Shot. I hope you have a nice time. God, Twitch really does allow the most insane names. Like, there was one chatter a while back, Jeter, who would only send me gift subs that had the most, like, ludicrous names possible. Also, I'm still trying to think of a confession. Let's see. Tax Lord says, well, I think I have a confession. If you'd like to confess something, go ahead. I'm still thinking of something that I can confess. Because I have done some shitty things in my lifetime. But, like, nothing really, like, super juicy that I think is fun to listen to. Let me see here. I told you guys what I did for, like, what I used to do with my Christmas presents. What else? What else have I done in my lifetime? MGamer says, can I admit to something? Now is the time. Now is your floor. If you would like to confess a sin, just submit it in a highlight to make sure that I see it. Because I'm thinking of something to confess myself as well. Man, it's so hard. I think... Dude, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Oh, my Johnny says... Ooh, oh, my Johnny is confessing something. Oh, my Johnny says, when I was 10, I wrote a declaration of war against a guy I had a crush on. And it started a fight between that guy and my bestie. Oh, no, that's so sad. Well, if anything, you've probably dealt your penance about it already. And also, you're one of my besties, and you can do no wrong. Mwah, straight to heaven for you. And Gamer says, sighs. The anthropomorphic animal one was mine. Well, you know what, MGamer? On my Twitter, for my following, I keep replies turned on. So, I do see your responses to furry artists that you like. I had a feeling. But you know what? Never once have I passed judgment upon you, my friend, because your taste is yours. And if all honesty, it's 2025, about to be 2026. There's way worse shit that you could be into. Jork it to furries all you fucking want, dog. I don't care. There could be worse. Tax Lord is also confessing something. Tax Lord says, it's a long confession, Great Nun May. Maybe if I had more room, it won't be a confession anymore. More of a life lesson, a story, a tell, for thy to withhold and for generations and eras. Then, in that case, my friend, I will do another confession booth stream. If you'd like to hold on to your confessions and keep an eye on my stream from time to time, hey, feel free to confess your sin the next confession booth stream. I'll try to do them monthly, but if we start running low on confessions, then maybe I'll do them every 6 months. Maybe even every 3 months. Something like that. Ryan Stamper says, I saw a user in the name of Ashmuncher and Dick Tickler on the other day in a stream. Common Twitch username, I see. We literally have Sperm Shot in chat right now. Hello, Matt. How are you today? Miso says, I was the exploitative Girl Scout. But you know what? We sent you to heaven. So you don't gotta feel bad about it, Miso. You've done your time and you've done well. Matt Koki says, taxes! Never! I've been evading for 4 years! You should not say that on a public stream! Dude, the Tax Lord is literally in the chat. Tax Lord is literally gonna fucking get you right now. Okay. I'm high-key still thinking about a sin that I can tell that would be juicy enough for you guys. Because I feel like if I tell you guys a sin and it's not good enough, that everyone is just going to send me to hell anyway. So I've been thinking, and I've been thinking hard. I've been thinking about this all week. And the only thing that I could really think of is that it's not really a sin either. It's more of something that I've already lived my punishment for. As teenagers, you know how it is. Teenagers, we jork it. We jork our peanuts. We flick our beans. That's just the nature of a hormonal teenager. When I was a teenager, I did, in fact, once get caught jorking my proverbial peanuts to Yowie. And you know what's crazy? It's because I've consumed so much Yowie in my life that I couldn't even tell you which one it was. I indeed got caught jorking my peanuts, flicking my bean to a Yowie by my stepmom, who took my phone away. And she told me in the car the next day, she was like, hey, listen, you're 16, I know it's normal, but lock your goddamn door. And I said, I'm so sorry, I will. And it never happened again. But yeah, it was my stepmom. My stepmom caught me. Felt pretty bad. And it is something that I think about every now and then. Like the Akira meme. I'll just go, dung, ah, and I'll just like feel it again in my senses. M Gamer says, that's not a sin. That's just opening up. I genuinely can't think of a sin. I can't think of a sin that's good. Well, if it says stepmom, oh my. Because maybe you can tell from my nunly demeanor, I haven't really done a lot wrong in my life. If anything, I don't do enough. That's why I rely on you all to tell me your sins. Because I don't do a lot. I don't do enough in my life that's fucked up or evil or wrong. Ryan Snapper says, I'm pretty sure Truckin' also thinks hard when I come to his mom. God, we have too many MILF fuckers here. I mean, I can try to think of another one. But in all honesty, I can't. I've been thinking about this for days, and I can't. Like, if anything, most of the sins in my life have been attributed to other people. Like, I was a bystander at a party to 2 other kids literally having sex next to me, and I was feeling super sick. I was in a sick stupor because I ate an entire stick of butter on a dare, and so I was wide awake the whole time that these 2 teenagers were fucking next to me. But that's not my sin. That's another sin. Like, I don't know. Gamer says, oh, you tell me to sin? You hypocrite. Sorry. I'm a boring-ass nun. I apologize. Sperm Shot says, what do you consider a sin? Honestly, any story that you have that is juicy as hell and you feel a little bit bad about something that happened there, that's a sin to me, baby. Tax Lord says, I've done lots of wrongs on mine, trust me. My book's on fire and God's been keeping an eye on this Lord. God. Oh, my Johnny says, that's your sin, eating an entire stick of butter. But I did it on a dare. Blue Tree says, was my sin a salvation or a sin? Mine was blaming my brother for spending money on games. We sent you to hell, in which that you go to a layer of hell, in which you are stoned to all eternity by a legion of little brothers. You get to live 3 to 4 weeks more, and then you'll die. Sperm Shot says, is going to a strip club while in a relationship considered a sin? I mean, it depends on your, like, it depends on what you did there, I guess. You know, like, if you were there with a bunch of friends for, like, a bachelor party, and you weren't there, like, of your own volition, I'd say no. But if you were, like, bored of your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your partner, and you went to a strip club because you wanted to look at people that were more attractive than your partner, then I would say that's a sin. It all depends on the intent. In my opinion. And also, like, if you fess up to it, if you, like, feel genuinely bad about it and you fess up to it later, you'll probably hurt your partner's feelings, but it's better to be truthful. It's worse to find out later from your partner that they did something like that, you know? That's my opinion, though. Blue Tree says, no, I was 15. Sorry, man. We already sent you to eternal hell forever and ever, where you get stoned and crucified by a legion of little brothers forever and ever. And not even your little brother, just every little brother that's been wronged is stoning you to death forever and ever. And that's their heaven, is that they get to punish bad big brothers like you. Anyway, I think the only other thing I can think of that could be qualified as a May sin, one time when I was a little kid, I had a cousin on my stepmom's side that came over for a while. My stepmom's side of the family came over, and we were swimming. And everybody was swimming, and the way that my dad's house was is that we had a pool and that we had a balcony. And I was really jealous of her because I don't even fully remember why. I think I was jealous because I thought she was, like, prettier than me. And she got, like, more attention than me, which is weird because I was the kind of kid that didn't want attention. I wanted as little attention as possible. But for some reason, that cousin just got under my skin when I was a kid. I want to say I was maybe 8 or 9. We had a bunch of plastic pool toys. Hard plastic pool toys. Like, think of, like, water guns and things like that. And I went to the balcony and I was trying to, like, throw things at her from the balcony into the pool. And I accidentally decked her in the head with a water gun. Luckily, it was not heavy or anything. It was just plastic, but it still hurt, and she still cried. And I was grounded for, like, dude, I think, like, the entire rest of her family's stay, which was, like, 2 weeks. So I didn't drown them, but I did throw shit at her head because I was jealous of her from the balcony into the pool. So it likely hurt a lot, and I feel really bad about it. But it also was, like, over 15 years ago. So Brainrot is cross-tossing at me, which honestly, I understand. I don't feel good about it either. I feel very bad whenever I think about that cousin. Here, I'll throw another cross at me. I deserve it. I deserve it. I feel like those are the kinds of sins that I can confess to, though. I don't really have a whole lot of juicy stories. That's why I rely on you all, my lovely, lovely congregation, for being here in my church and for confessing your sins to me. Because in all honesty, I've always kind of been a boring fucking nun. And I need you guys to to level me out, to be the chaos in my life. Because even though I say a lot of weird, unhinged shit all the time on my streams, I'm pretty fucking normal. I don't really do a whole lot that can be considered fucked up, evil, or mean, or twisted, you know? I'm pretty boring. And that's why I am so thankful to all of you. Because you make my life interesting. Every time I stream, I'm a lot more interesting when I'm talking to you guys than I am in my normal life. Warsaw Pete says May's biggest sin is simply being a normie. And then he called me a normie. And to be honest, yeah, you're right. I am. And I'm sorry. But you know what? At least I'm going to heaven. Maybe. Hi, Destructor. How are you doing today? Ryan Stamper says, yay, playing modded Skyrim for the 10th time. Yippee! I hope you have a lot of fun. Then in this case, let me take off the confession booth background. And we'll chat for a little bit normal style. What do you guys have left for your weekend? Today, I'm gonna be going to a Secret Santa party. I got my Secret Santa's gift, and I'm ready to go. So after stream, I will be doing that. But what do you guys have planned? Tomorrow, I will be doing one of my regular Sunday sermon just chatting streams as well. If you liked coming out here today, tomorrow is a little bit more of a normal stream. Today, I put on a little bit more theatrics than I usually do. But I do stream 4 nights a week. And Sunday sermons, I do every single Sunday, barring if I am sick or anything like that. Oh, Truckin says, another confession. I have been walked in on multiple times while jorking it, and I don't stop. I live by this philosophy of I'm not the one who got caught, they got caught the peeping. Damn, dude. You have a penis of steel, I guess. Dude, after I got caught by my stepmom that one time, I could not jork it for weeks, maybe even months. I was so embarrassed. Ow, ow. It wasn't me. I didn't say it. Destructor says, I'm doing okay. I've been farming a bunch of shit on Warframe all morning, and I just got really burned out with it for today. Fair enough. I hope you're able to enjoy playing another fun video game. Play something else. Maybe, play a critically acclaimed RPG Yakuza 0. That's my favorite video game. That's May's recommendation. Blue Tree says, Truckin goes faster and stares dead in the eye when he gets caught. Fucking crazy. Honestly, you're nuts. Never walk in on Truckin. He'll only jork it harder. Okay, let me drink some water. Ryan Stamper redeemed a sippy check. Thank you for that, Ryan. I was quite thirsty. Can you guys hear it when I chug? Oh, I was super thirsty. Oh, now I kind of have a brain freeze. Okay. Warsaw Pete says, I'm going back home tomorrow. And on Monday, I'm meeting my friend. And we're going to go to see the movies to see Donnie Darko for the first time. Oh, shit. You've never seen Donnie Darko? Cool. I hope you enjoy the movie. It's definitely an interesting one. I hope you like it. M Gamer says, I'm gonna play Digimon after this, then miss the punishment wheel. I hope you enjoy, M Gamer. Enjoy your Digimon, digital monsters. Truckin says, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Scary. Scary, 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 scary. Scary guy. I'm scared of this guy for real. Brainwash says, I'm going to play Expedition 33 after this. Enjoy! I hope you enjoy getting a little French. Personally, I really love Expedition 33, so I hope you like it. Warsaw P says, glug, glug, glug. Me! Me, drinking my water! Hello. Ryan Stamper says, I gotta make sure my beautiful nun streamer is hydrated. Oh, a beautiful nun streamer. Me? Thank you. And thank you for following Lockhart Games. Welcome to the church. I hope you are well. M-Gamer says, thankfully, I got a keyblade to unlock the door. Hell yeah. Truckin says, the French are a lie. I don't know, man. The French did win, like, every single fucking award at the Video Game Awards, so maybe the French are real and they make good video games. Lockhart Games says, howdy. Howdy, Lockhart Games. How are you today? We just finished up the confession booth, so now we're just talking a little bit before I head out for the day. How are you doing today, Lockhart? And what do the rest of you have? I actually already asked that. What do you have planned for your weekend, my friends? In all honesty, I'm probably gonna watch Blade 3 at the Secret Santa party today. Every single time that I hang out with every single time that I hang out with that friend group, we end up watching a Blade movie. So we have to watch The Last Blade. Destructor says, that was just out of pity. They can't win anything else. Blue Tree says, watch the IT series. Oh, it? Like the scary clown thing? Warsaw P says, oh, May, you ready for my karaoke reading, maybe? Not today, tomorrow. Tomorrow I should be able to. After the party today, I'll try to make sure that I'm set and ready for your song. But not today, because I do have to leave in 6 minutes. 6 minutes is when I have to start getting ready to go to my friend's, party. Warsaw P says, okay, I know, I'm sorry. We gotta do it tomorrow. I'm leaving in a couple minutes. I swear. Ryan Stepper says, but I cast slow on the dresser. Brainrot says, I hope you have a great party. Thanks. I also hope that I have a good time. Yay! Lockhart Games says, doing all right, even though I haven't had a single week of sleep and then shoveled over like 2 feet of snow. You live in Snow Central, okay? Understandable. I hope that you're able to get some rest soon. In fact, I will pray that you have a wonderful night's sleep as soon as possible, my dear. Destructor says, I'm glad I at least caught you a little. I'm glad that all of you could be here today. I am always ever so thankful that you guys spend time with me. Thank you all for submitting so many wonderful confessions. And thank you just for hanging out and for being with me. I always appreciate it very much. And you guys are freaking awesome. So thank you very much for hanging out with me and for being freaking awesome. Pokes with the needle. Ow, the fuck? Me? Why? Are you drawing out my blood? What the hell? But anyway, I will be back tomorrow. I wish you all a wonderful holiday season. I hope you enjoy being in the void. This time of year, I do feel is the void, because nothing ever fucking happens in the days between Christmas and New Year's. So enjoy being in the void for a few more days. And if you have to go back to work, as I do, I have to go back to work on Monday, then I hope that you will enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. No, deflating you. I see. Thank you, I'm back to normal now. Okay, my friends. I will start prepping to raid you guys out. But if you guys were here for the first time today and you loved hanging out, please do consider dropping a follow. And if you really liked hanging out, please do consider dropping a silly little sub. And if you don't want to do either, and if you are already following, feel free to join our Discord server. If I'm not busy, I do my best to be as active there as I possibly can. And everyone there is really nice and really awesome. We're all pretty sick. I also am an aspiring metal vocalist, and I do covers. So if you have never watched any of my covers before, please do consider checking out my covers. I'm very passionate about singing, and I would love it if as many people as possible could hear my singing. I also do have a variety of social medias like Twitter, TikTok, other things, so please do consider checking out my other social medias. And I am also an official partner of AdvancedGG. For the rest of December, there is a little May jar, a little hot chocolate May flavor. So please do consider purchasing a little something from AdvancedGG and using code PRAY to get 10% off of your order, because it supports me and my channel and is my first brand partnership ever, so I'm very excited about it. And also, if you really like being in this church, I also released merchandise last month for the first time. Also, never feel pressured to buy anything like that from me, whether it is, AdvancedGG, or if it is my merch, if it's subbing or anything like that, because it is not your money that matters, it is the time that you spend with me, because your presence has made my life all the richer. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Shrekin also did link my throne. Don't feel pressured to do that either. I am a normal nun. And I am simply thankful that you all hang out with me and that I've made so many friends in the year that I've been streaming. So once more, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will raid you guys out to... I think I'll raid you guys out to... Nice, who is also doing special events. She is playing horror games and doing an uncapped Christmas-thon. So I will raid you guys out to there. While you get over there, I'll give you a little nun-raid message. Feel free to copy-paste that, and I will send you on over. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow for our regular Sunday sermon. So, bye! See you later! Have a good day to everyone! Bye, guys! I'll see you! Bye, 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 bye! Mwah! Bye, mwah! Bye, mwah! See you later.